Okay, okay, let me just mute Maria. Mute.
I've just done it. I'm doing
Okay,
it.
great. Okay, great. So welcome back, everybody, to the monthly public Q&A from Holistic Actions. I'm Jeff Feinman. That's Dr. Christina Chambreau. And we are here to help reframe all your questions using the Path to Pet Wellness framework of homeopathy, love, and happiness. And quality of life, actually. It all leads to quality of life. And so used to dealing with symptoms and worrying about symptoms. But today we're going to talk about a reframe of those symptoms. So, Christina, do you want to give the directions or should I about reactions and
Go
about the
ahead. You
chat?
can.
No. So there are three ways to ask questions. Yes, Maya wants to be part of this. We just went out and she still wants to go back out. You can raise your digital hand, which you do when you hit raise hand at the bottom of the screen, right in the chat. Or
Actually, what you do is you go to React on my screen, click on React, and then it has raise hand. So it may say raise hand or it may say React. Maybe I have to update my Zoom.
I was gonna say I've got to react and raise hands.
Right.
So yeah, I
So
think
either one. But if you don't see raise hand, you can click on the React button.
all right. So let's get going. Nobody has any questions.
Okay, well, so as many of you know, many of you here already have been here before, and you know that our focus is we want to rebuild the energy field of the body so that the body naturally heals its symptoms and then they never come back again once we do it properly and they live a longer, healthier life. So that's our goal. Now, in addition to that, when they have symptoms that are making them uncomfortable, we may need to soothe those symptoms. But most importantly, we need to not be worrying about those symptoms. What is it? Could it be this? I'm going to go to Google. I'm going to go to HA and see, could it be this? Could it be that? And not be worrying about it because we communicate that to our animals and it can slow down the healing process. So, okay, let me go to the chat because we already have one that's in there, which is fairly long. So
Yeah.
let's see.
Hmm.
So a 4-year-old, okay, so 4-year-old had random occurrences of diarrhea every 2 weeks, one time in the morning. So you tried probiotic, good for that vet, not Purina. You don't want to do that, of course, but there are many other probiotics. There is, first off, for anything we say here today, there is no one right answer. That's the first place to help you de-stress. I don't have to go in search of the right answer. There are multiple possible answers that might be helping my animal. And so I don't have to find the right one. And then when we're doing supplements, we like to rotate them. So with probiotics, particularly, it's nice to rotate them. And one place to learn about probiotics is a company that we really like called Adored Beast. And they have multiple different probiotics and talk about rotating them and how to work with them and help you understand with prebiotics as well. Now, so her beam is terrific, excellent. And that is one thing. If you let me know if you're a Holistic Actions member, that helps us. Obviously, you already know about Beam, so that's great. So so the next step, do you want to, can you unmute yourself?
Sure. Hi.
Hi.
But before even anything else, I want to go back to what you said. No, there's no one right answer. And what you said about Purina and Fortiflora is not right in my opinion. I mean, I think Fortiflora is fun to use. I mean, I
Mhm.
agree the Purina food is not the best. Fortiflora and their calming care probiotic, a special probiotic designed to help behaviors, are okay to use. So
Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you.
as part of your rotation of different
Exactly.
probiotics.
Exactly. But
Yep,
I would
good.
then go with one of the Adored Beast products, especially Felix's Flora or Soothe or yeah.
But
Put
more
red
check out their site and have a conversation with them about, tell me about probiotics. They'll love to do that.
Okay, thank you. And
They're
when you
very
say rotate,
educational. So, Adriana, are you keeping a journal?
I am, yes,
Okay, good.
since it started.
Okay. So the important thing is to really each time get as broad as you can for what could be a commonality in it. It could be a change in your work schedule. It could be this where the moon is. It could be that's the day so and so always comes over, and maybe there's a certain treat that's fed. Although if you're feeding a wide variety of fresh food, then it doesn't matter. It
Yeah.
could be that that's the time that there's extra stress. So, are there other symptoms that are going along with the diarrhea? Some anxiety, not sleeping as well, hair coat doesn't look quite as good, any of those little tiny things.
Mhm.
And that will help at this point because the beam is good and it's sporadic. I still would. Do you have a homeopathic veterinarian on your holistic healthcare team?
I don't, not yet.
Okay, now's the time to do it.
Okay.
3 months ago was the time to do it.
Oh, okay.
I want everybody to create their holistic health team before your animal gets sick.
Okay.
Because then you've already in relationship, they know you, and you'll get a quicker appointment that way as well. So there are multiple options for that, and we'll try to talk about that later. But one is you go to holisticactions.com/select.
Okay.
And that gives you a whole article. That's for everybody. A great article on why you can't go to Google and why you can't just go to AHVMA, the Holistic Vet Association, but you have to go to all the acupuncture, all the chiropractic, all the osteopathic, all the botanical, all the homeopathy to find who might be near you. And then, and it also says that for homeopathy, when you go to the Academy of Veterinary Homeopathy, it'll tell you who can do phone consults.
Okay.
And so that's, and then further down in the article, it talks about your job in having the best relationship with your holistic vet to be able to help the problem go away. So that's definitely where you need to go right now, especially with a 4-year-old cat.
Okay. And
Yeah,
then
right.
and then Adored Beast and look at their probiotic selection.
That's
And when you,
fine. That's a soothing part. So we have two parts, the healing, the underlying vital force, that's the homeopath, and the soothing, which you can do right now with the Adored Beast or the Fortiflora. You know, if you
last
already have the
question.
Fortiflora, you can go ahead and do that.
Okay, thank you. And the last question, when you say rotate it, do you mean 2 weeks Fortiflora, 2 weeks something else, or?
Oh, whenever you feel like it.
Okay, I get it. I get
When the
it. Yeah. When it
bottle
feels right.
runs out.
Yeah.
And the other thing you can do is we have at least 4 or 5 webinars on doing muscle testing, pendulum, intuition, tuning in. And so you can ask, is this probiotic I'm using today the best one?
Yes. Thanks for the reminder. Yes.
You can do that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you can ask every day. Or just let your hand pay attention to if your hand reaches for it and grabs it, or if your hand reaches for it and hesitates.
Okay.
Or notice if your cat goes, "Ugh," and doesn't want something that it ate okay before.
Okay. Very
So,
good.
yeah, definitely everybody tuning into that interspecies communication is really important. Susie is next.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're muted, Sue. There you go.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks. Good morning. Thanks for taking my question. I have a tricky one. My intuition is telling me this is all stress related, but there are so many weird symptoms and behavioral issues. I started off with a holistic lady, an animal communicator who came to my house. I have 5 animals, and the kitty that is causing me distress at the minute, I'm worried about. He's a 6-year-old male. He's neutered, spayed. Wait, which one is it? Sorry. Neutered. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you. He was a rescue. He was the runt of the litter. His back end legs have always gone in. He has a big kink in the back of his tail. He's never been super healthy, but he is a dog cat. He loves dogs, hates cats. My daughter rescued 2 other little kitties, brought them back, and he's been on edge ever since. We've had them 18 months. Now he's losing fur, weight. He's got a stripe down his back. He's super nice to me 1 minute. And clingy. He has a hard stomach. We feed him raw. I give him Adored Beast, tummy soothe. I put a little colloidal silver in the water fountain for them. The animal communicator said he was fine. He didn't think he had any problems, and that he just plays rough, and that the kitties are soft.
It sounds like there's a little more going on to that than that.
I think so too.
So you might want to try another animal communicator.
Yeah.
That's, we all have different opinions, and we hear things, we hear, see, and feel things differently when we're doing animal communication. And so you need to trust you need to trust yourself. And so one is to figure out as much as you can about what's causing stress in the house. It's really important to remember that several things. One is every animal is an individual. So you're going to have more timid animals, and you're going to have more feisty animals, and that can be completely healthy and normal. And sometimes that can be a clash. Sometimes our perception of what's going on is what's off. I had a brother and a sister kitty that I got as little kittens, and as they got older, man, they would wrestle with each other, and the little female would scream, and for a little while.
Right now?
Can you mute that, Jeff?
I'm not get it done.
For a little while, I was worried that something, that it was a behavioral issue. And then I realized that they were cuddling the next, shortly after. And neither one, and this just was their interaction their whole life. And I had to shift my thinking about it. So that's another piece to it. And then the other is really digging what you may want to do because of losing fur. I mean, that's definitely, is he licking it off? Is he over grooming?
It's just falling out in clumps. Like if I brush him, my hand is just full of fur.
Wow. So you definitely, do you have a homeopathic veterinarian or a holistic Chinese medicine vet?
Yeah, I did I caved yesterday and took him to my regular vet, and they just did the comprehensive diagnostic panel, including a fecal. They did absolutely everything yesterday. I have a sneaky suspicion it's going to come back fine. I think it is stress related. I am going to switch to a holistic. I put a call into one, but she didn't get very good reviews. I'm up in Santa Barbara, and I think I'm going to travel down. I think there's a really good one in Thousand Oaks, Southern California.
There's no one right answer. There's no one right veterinarian. And so it's going to be up to you. So definitely read that article and see who else is near you. So holisticactions.com/select, and then go to their website, see what your intuition tells you. And then when you go there, you then have to decide if this is, really a problem or not. Now, I'm also, at the same time, I'm answering your question about sort of the reactivity is in the chat. We have a post on a 3.5-year-old cat that's timid and reactive and now having some hyperesthesia. And so we want to, to address the whole thing, the very best is to find a great holistic veterinarian to work with. And again, that's going to be up to you making that judgment on how they are. They should be really, really good with cats, and you want to check that out ahead of time. And then there are tons of, I'm sorry, are you a member, Susie?
I was a member, yeah. I actually let it lapse, but
Okay.
I'm gonna rejoin.
Okay. So at this point, what you can do as soon as you rejoin, start seeking out the webinars. If you're a VIP
Okay.
member, you can use our AI Sage to do some more in-depth looking. But even otherwise, you go to the resource library and click on Brain, which has all the behavior webinars listed.
Okay.
And so you can go through those webinars. The other thing to be looking at while you're figuring out your veterinary side of it would be flower essences.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so you got Jackson Galaxies, which is our faculty member Gene Hovey's remedies that he sells, and then Green Hope essences, pet essences, and of course Bach flowers. But Bach flowers you have to figure out for yourself, and there are some books on that. So
Yeah.
flower essences are totally safe and sometimes can be super, super effective. And then really reread the happiness protocol and be paying attention. When you have multiple animals, it makes it a little more difficult. But
Yeah.
you want to make sure that you're paying the appropriate attention for each animal
Yes.
and figure out what maybe this guy needs. But the webinars are on things like music and flower essences and uh, supplements and your thinking. So all of those. So Jeff, you want to add anything for both cats that are reactive and
Well, are we talking about for Susie or for
both?
Deborah?
For
Yeah,
for
yeah, for
Susie and
Deborah,
somebody
I
called
wrote in the
From. I haven't
chat,
gotten to Deborah. Okay.
That is Deborah, yep.
Oh,
I
okay.
wrote in the chat, yeah,
Right.
press stopper, and I gave a link for that but I thought Deborah
Stress
was up
stopper, anything else?
for
Where is
flower.
that from? Stress stopper.
That's from Jackson Galaxy Solutions.
Yep,
Okay.
yep, that's the one Dr. Christina just mentioned, but
But you want to read all of them. It may be that you pick up on something else that's more specific for it. And also tweak the diet, play around with different foods. You know, there's so many different things, but I think you've got the picture here. You're probably right at stress, trust your
Yeah.
intuition,
Yeah.
go for the deep healing. A lot of holistic vets are just giving you supplements and spending a lot of money, and cats don't like to eat supplements. So if that's happening, don't pay for stuff you don't think you're going to use.
Right.
Say so. Be an advocate. So that's one is some of them just do the soothing allopathic approach, and then others are working on the deeper energetic field. And it doesn't matter what kind they are, they all can be better at one than the other.
Great. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. Let's see, I think we'll do Sophie next. Sophie has IBD since Feb and acute pancreatitis, diarrhea, and vomiting. So, Sophie, you want to unmute yourself if you can? The answer for you is exactly what we've been talking about already. So, your cat is ill enough that this is not something that you're going to be able to treat 100% at home. You will need to be working with a really good veterinarian who's addressing the underlying energy field imbalance. So you want to go to holisticactions.com, select, and find one. And I would really encourage Sophie to be I would really suggest that you work with a homeopathic veterinarian unless you have somebody else super good that's right there. And you can post if you have another question, Sophie. Kathy. Oh, poor baby.
yeah, why
She had
why don't we just get over
oh,
Colleen? Good before Sophie, a good probiotic for dogs. Probably start with the Tord Beast, the wolf.
great.
and then maybe switch to Phytophthora, and Ruth has her hand up as well.
Okay, great. Ruth?
Good afternoon to both of you. Thank you so much. And I am a
Thank you.
member, as you know. I
Yes.
have a question that came up because I got an email from Feline Instincts yesterday that she is planning to retire mid-December. So I went to the website today to see what else she had, and people have reached out and asked questions about, is she planning to sell the business to somebody else? By the way, everyone, Feline Instincts makes a premix that's really good for cats with kidney disease. So obviously, since I've got my cats on it and they're eating it, and the search will begin again. I've tried Medicus, which is a prescription whole food diet, but they haven't really adapted to that. I guess I could try that again, but I like Feline Instincts because it's not prescription. And I can make it, I can control the ingredients, and then they are getting some supplements. Their Beam in both cases are excellent, and I'd like to keep it that way. But do you know anybody who would be interested in taking over her business and adhering to her standards? Or do you have any suggestions for other foods that I could start trying before, because people are going to buy up in advance. And she said once she runs out, she runs out.
Sure.
I don't know.
Well, this is why, and you've heard us say this before, Ruth. We always say we strongly, strongly encourage people not to feed just one food
Correct.
because companies go out of business or companies get bought and you don't know the ingredients have changed because they fudged the labels. And so it's really important for everybody. Do not, especially with cats, let them get hooked on one food. And it's partly your mind too, saying, oh, this is the best one. And so I would really, Ruth, start working with feeding your own fresh food. You don't have to worry about supplements and balancing and stuff like that. We've got lots of resources on the website, but that would be my first thing. And then
But it's the kidney disease.
doesn't matter. Oh, doesn't matter.
But
Okay.
they are getting the fresh food in the feline.
Right. No, I understand that, but I'm saying if you're doing it yourself, then it doesn't matter if anything goes out of business. Then you can manage it on your own. And in terms of kidney diet, you don't need to be on a specific kidney diet until an animal is well into, pretty serious kidney disease. Feeding a high protein, the normal diet that we feed a cat is perfect for that. And Dr. Jeff may have some suggestions on foods, more than I.
Nope, just that we need to, as you know, Ruth, we need to individualize. So as Dr. Christina said, we don't worry about kidney food for, an early stage, but yeah, if they've got high phosphorus and creatinine, as you may be, and are all high as well, then you may need to be restricting protein, in which case there are a lot of ways to be doing that, and I would recommend starting a thread on the forum.
Oh,
Just to
perfect.
discuss
Yes.
that,
Okay.
And for those,
I find it hard to follow the thread sometimes on the
Oh, then
back into it.
or just
Try it.
schedule a 15-minute HMDM call where we can spend the whole time just talking about
Okay.
food.
mhm.
Yeah, I
Yep.
was hoping maybe Dr. Jean would be interested in
It'd be perfect.
taking over that business or something.
No, she is not, she's not able to do that.
Okay, just in the
Yeah.
supplements. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you,
Certainly.
Ruth.
Okay, Joe, you're next. And Joe is a member.
Yes, hello everybody.
Hi.
My first time attending here, so I'm a little bit confused. But anyway, my question is I have a cat with diabetes, and I've been treating it. Yesterday we went to the vet. I'm using a regular allopathic because there isn't a homeopathic here where I'm at, but I'm also working with Dr. Janet with essential oils and some herbal things. So yesterday we managed to get his blood sugar down from 584 to 250 6. But the vet is still pretty sure that they want me to give him insulin twice a day. Currently, I'm feeding him herbal dandelion, herbal fennel, and fenugreek. And that seems to be making a great big difference. But I don't have him on a probiotic yet, and I don't have him on a vitamin yet. He was so sick when I got him, he was couldn't even make it to the litter box. And now his beam is beautiful. He's running around, he's playing with my other cats. He had a lot of medical things going on, and we've been handling that. But I just wondered if you guys had any ideas on some other places I could be looking
Yep,
in place of
absolutely.
the insulin. So
Absolutely. And that place is with a homeopathic or Chinese medicine vet. I know you don't have any locally to you that I have found for you. However, homeopathic veterinarians, we have a number of homeopathic veterinarians who do work virtually, and that's perfect.
Okay.
And homeopathic medicines are very easy to give to cats. It's one of the benefits of it. And I've gotten cats off of insulin. I know Dr. Jeff has as well, and without continued treatment, because when we rebalance the vital force, it heals it. And Dr. Jeff, for members, Dr. Jeff does do virtual homeopathic care. So he's one that you can consider having as being your homeopathic veterinarian.
Great.
And keep up with the fresh food. That's really important. And as you can add in, so when animals are healthy, they don't need probiotics on a regular basis, usually don't. Or it's sort of an indication they're not completely healthy if they need them on a regular basis. And but it's fine when they're not healthy. It's often very good to do that. And feeding a fresh food diet helps the prebiotics, so it helps balance the intestines. And sometimes it's a matter of just sharing fresh, really good yogurt if they like that. So there are multiple ways. Doesn't like
Right,
that.
that
Yeah, okay. But
he'll
there are.
he'll take the cabbage and the broccoli and stuff right off my plate, but he won't touch yogurt worth beans.
What
Okay.
about sauerkraut? My
Yeah.
cat loves sauerkraut.
Sauerkraut? Okay.
Yeah. That's got all the probiotics in it there. And again, rotate. Try some kimchi,
Okay.
as you're going along. No, that's great. Sounds like you're
I
on
see.
the right path.
Thank you.
You are welcome. I'm going to do a quick answer to Brenda. I do recommend having heartworm checks once a year. I also recommend that when you get your heartworm check, you remember that if you're going to a conventional veterinarian and it says that it's positive for Lyme, that's probably a good thing. So you don't want to get freaked out by anything. If anything's positive, you recheck it or post on, if you're a member, do a forum post for us. But diagnostics are worth doing. And are the pups likely to get heartworms? Probably not. But if they do, it'd be nice to know. So once a year. And heartworm preventative, if people are using that, you want to be using that carefully. You do not need to do it once a month, 12 months out of the year, the way the conventional medicine is pushing it. Okay, Francis.
Okay, I knew you would call me while I'll just, I'm,
Oh, you're out
I'm on
walking.
I'm out walking my hero, my dog, and my dog client here.
Oh. Mhm.
Oh, how
Claire,
sweet.
I'm calling about Clarabelle. Yeah. Okay. And I've spoken to you guys about her before. I'll go off video because I feel I look scary right now. This is this kind of inflammation that she's having in her left nasal
Oh, right.
ridge. Yeah, and bone loss. And so we seem to have had a backslide where we're having chronic GI now. And the vet, I've been in touch with Martha Lindsay, who is all on board with doing homeopathy once we get the other stuff sorted. And
You don't
so,
need, you really,
yeah,
really, really do not need to get the other stuff sorted. And I
okay.
love, and Martha's a friend of mine, and she
Yeah.
can,
Oh,
yeah,
she's amazing.
she can
Yeah.
yell at me at the
Yeah.
next conference if she wants. But I would, so Jeff, you want to answer them? I mean, the Martha Lindsay. Should we push
not
her?
go near that one. No.
Yeah, no, I mean, here's the thing. I am consulting with another vet who's been coming to the house who does acupuncture, and then now she wants us to do. You guys probably are also familiar with Margot Roman, so she
Yes.
does the FM. She suggested
Yep.
we do FMT,
Yep.
and we're using Margot's product.
For
And
everybody, FMT is fecal transplants.
yeah,
And Margot Roman is a vet who has a line that's about 18 years with pretty holistically treated standard poodles.
yes,
Which
and
anyone can now buy through Legacy Biome,
oh,
apparently.
Right.
really? Okay, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yep.
So we've been on the FMT for almost a week, and it's still things are still not like she's not having diarrhea, but it's like today she won't go at all. And basically, we can't even treat the inflammation until we get the GI in balance. And of course, the FMT and the probiotic that was recommended is different than the one you guys are saying. So I may bring this up with her, but
No, we can have different probiotics.
yeah,
I said there
yeah,
are a lot
yes,
of
yes, yes,
really
yes.
good probiotics. Don't say Jeff and Tina say only do this.
Oh, no,
No,
no, no.
okay.
I'm not feeling that
Okay.
way.
Good.
But it's and of course this vet is suggesting switching to a different food, which I think triggered it, a company called
Ah,
Raised Right. So now right now she's only on boiled turkey and rice, and it's getting old for all of us. Like the amount, and
right.
it's like
Did it help?
no, it's like, well,
Okay, well, if
it's better, but it's not good. And
right.
she wants us to stay on it. And I'm kind of at a point where we're doing a nebulizer on her nose every night and cleaning it out, but it's just, like her
So
appetite's incredible, but yeah.
So here's the thing. We can't do an entire case taking
I understand. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
on our short
Yeah,
call, but here's the point for you. You have a
yeah,
Chinese medicine veterinarian you're working with. You're working with a homeopathic vet who doesn't think we can use homeopathy yet, but wants to do other things first, which is
right,
fine.
right.
But you're in the middle of this. So you need to step back
Yeah,
and you're the one living with your dog.
right,
And
exactly.
so you're the one to say, huh, to the person who said feed only turkey, say, nope, this isn't working. It's
Right.
been long enough, it's not helping, and we're all miserable. So we want to
Yeah,
add in something else. We want to
yeah,
feed some other food. Or
right.
you say, I'm going to go with the other vet's suggestion for food instead of yours, but will you still
Okay.
work with me? So you're the one in charge. And that's
Yeah,
true for
yeah,
everybody, whether you're doing a
yeah.
conventional vet or any kind of a holistic vet. And really be doing energy work, Francis, your own energy, positive intention, happiness protocol, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I'm doing that and continuing with like
Great.
Reiki. Yeah. So no, that's a really good, that's a thank you for that. And
Good.
I actually have already gotten some great suggestions from the call. So I'm very grateful for, yeah,
Perfect.
someone wrote
Yay.
about rice being inflammatory and I'm wondering the same thing, but otherwise it's just turkey. So anyway,
Right.
thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Jeff. You were going to comment on rice.
Well, I was going to comment on the inflammation part.
Okay.
I don't
Inflammation's
know.
good.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, actually. And I forget which chapter I'm in. There's just a couple of pages where I call it about inflammation in the book.
Oh, I have the book.
Well, then
What
read the
page?
chapter.
What page or
Well, that's what I
chapter?
was just looking
Yeah.
for. And
Yeah, which
but
chapter? Yeah, I'll look.
I'll
I'll
look
find
it
it.
up afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Okay.
basically, kind of reframe inflammation because we're alive. They're alive because of inflammation.
Okay. Okay.
But what we've got here is what I call misguided inflammation because the vital force, the energetic balance is imbalance. Saying the inflammation has got to do the wrong things or too much of a thing. I mean, cytokine storm is a good example where, right, you need to really quell the inflammation in order to get the whole thing under control, but just telling the body to stop what it's doing And choline is not going to work in the long run. It's going to work in the short run. Yeah. So
Okay.
like Tina said, just go ahead and try and look at the whole, but including the fact that inflammation is a good thing.
And maybe have a conversation with Martha about, hey, I really want to get started on homeopathy.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
you're
I'll
a
circle
holistic,
back to her
you're,
next week. Yeah.
yeah, you're a
Yeah.
holistic actions member. You've really seen the good that homeopathy can do, and you're getting a little frustrated, and you'd like to at least try that approach and see how far you can get with that.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Thank you both so much. Thank
And
you.
you are
Yeah.
welcome. And the key for everybody as you're advocating for your animal, even if you went to a conventional vet, because that's who you have to do your hands-on, and they say, oh, you can't feed raw food, just go, okay, that's fine. And now what can you tell me about blah, 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 whatever the why you were in there. And come in with the attitude. This is the attitude you need to have with any vet, with any professional, not just vets. They know what they've been trained for. Conventional vets have not been trained other than these file cabinets. If it's this, do that. Many homeopathic or acupuncture or osteopathic, they may have been just trained if there's nothing out in the spinal column, then nothing's wrong. And yet you know something's wrong. So at that point you go, oh, okay, well, I guess I'm going to try a different approach. So it's always honoring who they are. Don't argue with them. And as your animal gets better with whatever you choose, then you go back to the vet and say, huh, look what's happened. And we actually have a good example of that. Somebody had a gal down near me that I met at a party. Her dog had a big tumor on its mouth, and her cousin is a homeopath for people, and they worked on it, and within a month it was decreased by 50%. And she went to the vet and said, here's what's happening. And he said, oh, looks pretty good, keep going. He was open enough to do that. And then when it was done, he called in the other vets in the clinic and said, I want you to see this. So sometimes you're lucky and they're fairly open. Dementia. So Mary, no, you do not need to put her down for this. Mary, I would strongly suggest you go to brighthaven.org and read some of the stories and look at some of the pictures with Gail Pope. And even though it's dementia and maybe not other things, because people are starting to talk to you about putting her down, you might want to listen to the hospice course that we have if you're a Holistic Actions member. Is that available to non-members, Jeff? So it's also,
Yeah, yeah, it
you don't
is,
know.
but well, it is, but it may not have a.
Okay.
Yeah, I
So,
don't.
but you can also get it at Gail's Brighthaven site. She has a lot of good information about tending to older cats. The second person, and again, you can listen to webinars if you're a Holistic Actions member. You can listen to webinars on by Anitra Frazier, Frazier, and she wrote the book The Natural Cat. At 87, she is still bicycling around New York City taking care of cats. So here's a lady who knows about health. She actually is probably 88 now. And she will do consults in terms of just quality of life. And for both Gail and Anitra, I know that they would be saying several things. Since it's only stool, you may see, you say, how can I get her to understand she needs to use the box? That's not the issue. Something's going on that she's walking around and all of a sudden goes, oh, I got to go poop. And she poops. So if you can find a pattern to where she's pooping, then put down a cloth there. Put a mat down, something she can go on, and then you pick it up. And sometimes that's easier in a small house. I know I have people that have 4 cats in a 800-foot tiny home, and that can be a real challenge. So the other thing is to work with an animal communicator and find out what's maybe going on here. But more importantly, at 18 years of age, is to be definitely working with a homeopathic veterinarian virtually or locally a Chinese medicine veterinarian, osteopath, chiropractor. I have seen older cats that have stool issues and even issues getting in and out of the box that completely resolve with good chiropractic or osteopathic, because the reason they're doing it is their nerves aren't quite functioning properly. And once the blockages are resolved, they're now fine. So it's a combination of managing your household, soothing, and getting at the deep underlying energetic imbalance that's causing the problem. Does that make sense, or do you want to ask anything more? Okay. Brenda, I didn't answer this question. It's for you, Dr. Jeff. Is liquid silicone used for treadmills toxic to pups?
Why is that for me?
Because you're the brain. You remember things much more than I do. So you may have read something about that somewhere.
No, it's not. As far
Okay.
as I know, yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you know something more about that, then yeah.
I don't. The only thing I know is Amy Tedesco does she has greenliving.org.com, I think is her website. And she did a toxic clean out your kitchen so you have a non-toxic kitchen. And we talked about coating for pans to cook on. And oh, I know it wasn't that. It was baking sheets using just the straight baking sheet or parchment paper or those silicone. And she didn't know the answer. And we haven't nailed that one down. We did find out that with parchment paper, you have to make sure you get the organic, non-bleached parchment paper. So there are things, but let us know when you get that answer. We'd love to know. Oh, I'm at the end. Am I at the end? Okay, Eric has said, Gail is amazing. It's definitely for all animals. She had mostly cats in her sanctuary, and this is just wonderful to know. Well, Jeff, would you just check and make sure we haven't missed somebody as I was scrolling through?
Yeah, I was about
So
to, yeah.
Brighthaven, she was a conventional vet tech and then did other things. And then when she turned 40 or 50, said to her husband, and they're British and they've been together since they were 13, she said, Richard, I want to give a home to old cats for the rest of their lives. And Richard, who is a developer and a realtor, said, well, I guess we'd better get a bigger house. So they had a house with 5 bedrooms. And at night, she'd go to sleep with her husband and 5 or 10 cats. And then she'd move to each room during the night, picking up 1 or 2 cats that needed special attention. And when I visited her, she had over 90 cats in the house. And she didn't accept them until they were 18 or older. And the first one I treated lived to be 34. So she was doing fresh food. She was working with homeopaths and flower essences, but most importantly, love and acceptance. She would see the cat, dog, pig, raven, which she got in trouble for having because it was, I don't know, the laws in California, and horses. So she had all of those, but mostly it was cats. And I would walk into the room and see this old cat that was standing there like he could barely stand. And she would go, oh, hi, Victor. I'm so glad you're there to greet people. We're moving to the next room now. And he would slowly make his way to the next door and stand there all shriveled up. And she'd go, thank you so much for being our greeter. It's just she was able to see the live, healthy, wonderful animal, regardless of what was going on.
And that's the key, in my opinion, is to visualize them and see them as the animal that is rebalancing as they can, because when you see them the way Gail does, they live long, they have a great life, and thinking about, a way to sum that up, and it's like, well, you're trying to become your dog, like when Maya's looking around, I'm looking at what she's looking at, what she's sniffing at, and if you ever saw the movie Caddyshack, Um, when Chevy Chase was putting, he would be the ball so he could get the ball exactly where he wants it. And actually, if you go on YouTube, there's a be the ball clip for a few minutes, and that's really what we're trying to do with our animals is be like an animal.
The challenge with that, though, Jeff, is when an animal is really ill, like these twisted animals with big tumors coming off of them, if we're being that animal, we sometimes feel awful because we're imagining having that condition. And what Gail and her mom did was to see the healthy animal inside, even if that animal, that cat was lying on a bed and only lifted its head 5 times a day, but still would eat a little bit and was lifting its head and saying hello. So it's a combination. What Jeff's saying is applicable for almost everybody, but don't, if they're feeling bad, don't let it make you feel bad.
Right. Well, which is why I said visualize who they are well balanced. What the
Right.
animal they're designed to be, as good as they can be. We're designed to be all animals are designed to be as good as we can be.
Even with severe problems that don't go away sometimes.
Oh.
And that's definitely the key. Gail sees souls. That's beautiful, Erica. That's well said. Gail sees souls, not illness or disabilities. That's a lovely, perfect way to say that. We missed Christy. Christy, can you unmute yourself?
I was about to ask you about that.
Hi, thank you for taking my question. I'm a member of the Holistic Actions.
Yes.
I'm new, so I don't really know how all this works, and I haven't read all through the resources, etc. But I will get to that. So I'm grateful for this Zoom. My quick question for you is: I have a pug. She's 14. With a kibble switch, she and my mother's dog developed yeast. My mother's dog recovered from that. My pug did not. She has issues with her ears and her eyes, and I noticed she had some vaginal around that area drainage. Another holistic vet that I listened to online had suggested an organic apple cider vinegar and distilled water 50-50 mix to the ears twice a day for 7 days. I do that, it gets under control, and then it comes back again. And she, like, basically with that kibble switch, this yeast exploded. She never had an issue before. So obviously I took the recommendations of stopping the kibble and going to a fully raw diet with no treats. I did that. It seems with also, I give her this combination. It's a cranberry, D-mannose, and propolis capsule that I break open in her food. That and the other apple cider seems to keep it at bay. But as soon as I stop it, it just explodes again. And this poor baby, I give her probiotic chew as well. But I'm hearing that you say, probiotics aren't always the answer, and that it could mean, like, for healthy dogs don't need probiotics.
But she's not healthy.
Yeah.
So she does need probiotics.
Yes, I give her that. It's an open farm pumpkin probiotic chew I give to her daily.
And again, you might want to rotate and experiment with some other probiotics.
Okay. Do you have recommendations of some? I'm open.
Well, we've mentioned it several times here as the Adored Beast.
Okay.
And Fortiflora. I like one called Mito Max, MITOMAX. And just to know, this Q&A is actually not just for members. It's for anybody. So you can invite your friends to come on it.
I did. Yeah.
Excellent. Good. So everything else you're going to learn as you go along. Make sure you schedule your 15-minute consult and take advantage of that. And just keep exploring and make sure you've done the welcome videos so you learn your way around, and post in the forum. Even if you're having trouble posting in the forum, you can open a forum post and say, I'm having trouble posting in the forum. Where do I find blank? Okay. So if you have a question, or go to support at holisticactions.com.
Okay.
Just email Kim.
And then in terms of your pug, so what we know from our homeopathy training, and for me, homeopathy teaches you how to understand becoming ill and healing. And there's
Yeah.
a wonderful book, Jeff, if you can, Don Hamilton's Homeopathic Care of Cats and Dogs. And chapter 2 and chapter 3 are talking about that. So, what we know in homeopathy is when animals are healing and getting rid of imbalances, that they often, if they're healthy enough, they need to create symptoms somewhere because they've sort of stopped, things have happened and they've stuffed it in their body.
Yep.
So, where would you rather have them create symptoms? On the skin or in their liver?
Okay.
On the skin or in the heart, right? So every time you look at your dog and see all this yucky skin stuff, you go, "Yay, your vital force is healthy enough to keep it on the surface." Yes, we're happy with that. So that's number one, because that shifts your thinking with it.
Perfect. Yep.
And then the second is what we've talked about is you might need to be working with somebody that. So this is great for everybody to see. We talked about holistic veterinarians who are just treating symptoms versus holistic veterinarians that are really committed to seeing the whole picture and rebalancing the energy field.
Right.
This holistic veterinarian, from all we know so far, she might be different, but is just treating a symptom with a more holistic approach than Panalog.
Yes.
So, which is fine, that's good, but it sounds like you may need to do a little more searching for, she could be good to be on your team, but you want someone else. So go to the holisticactions.com/select, read the whole article.
Yeah, it was my conventional vet who was treating symptoms with, very expensive eardrops and those, nothing, like I did 3 courses.
Well, that's all they're trained to do.
Enough is enough. And so then I just was online looking for holistic because there's nobody in our area till I found you
might
just recently.
You might be surprised. Go to that article and
I
check
actually
it out.
learned
Where are
Medical
you?
Medium. I'm in Ontario, Canada.
Oh, there's 8 holistic veterinarians there that are good. So you need to go to that article.
Yeah.
Go to that article, and you're going to have to, it's a lot of work, but the article tells you how to do it.
I'm up to that.
Welcome, Christy.
Yeah.
And Adored Beast is she in Toronto?
Is she? Oh, perfect.
I don't.
Can I ask another quick question before you move on? So I have a 20-year-old Shih Tzu.
Ooh, good for you.
Who is, I'm on the fence about euthanizing, and I saw that you had made a reference to somebody, like a resource online, which I will look into that. She's eating well, she's peeing, she's pooping, she's doing all those things. I have to now crate her like in an area because she's blind, deaf, she has no teeth. I'm feeding her the raw. But I just don't feel like she's ready to cross the Rainbow Bridge, but she has a weight gain issue and I'm stressed about that. She's so skinny. She's so skinny.
Oh, okay. So there are some things you can do with that. Dr. Jeff and I each have a product. One I like is called P as in Peter, D as in dog, G as in good, which stands for Pre-Digest. And it's by a company named Ysong. And it has it's a powder. You mix it with water, mix it with food. And you always do, anytime you're doing a treat or a supplement, don't do it in the main meal because you don't want to put them off the meal, off their eating. So do it at a separate time. And it's specifically geared to put weight on. Jeff, you had one you liked. I think.
Where to get this link from?
WYSONG. I don't know. It's Ysong Company. I think it's an org. Might be a net. It's an odd one.
It was a net. Yeah, I don't know what they are now, but I think you can order PDG now.
Yeah, and I think it's on Amazon and stuff like that too.
Yeah, like she literally, I know people might think it's terrible. My husband says I'm selfish, but she wears diapers and I change her just like a little baby.
Sure. But absolutely. People do that for 20 years.
She's starting to lose the strength in her back end as well. And I'm thinking it's due to the weight loss, muscle loss. I don't know.
It could all be combined.
What can help?
And so again, if you can find, I would dig in, even if you have to drive an hour to, I would really look for somebody who's doing really good osteopathy or chiropractic, because that would be a good support, or physical rehab. That's another one. And if you go online, Lori McCauley has it, McCauley. And mine, if y'all want even more information than you're already getting from HA, you can subscribe to my newsletter, which is my website is ChristinaChambreau.com. The one I just sent out a few days ago has, I talked about fitness and PT, and I had several listed. Tellington T-Touch, that's another one. You can learn how to work with the muscles and stimulate the neuromuscular system.
Okay.
So that
Awesome.
that could really help. And keep posting on the forum.
Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Jeff, we're down to a few minutes, but T, mid B2 mitral valve disease, gingivitis, bad tartar. I would Vimergy, she's on Vimergy. I don't know about Micro C toothpaste. Do you, Dr. Jeff?
I do not. I
Sorry,
never
we
heard of
don't know that. But I would be with all of this going on, first off, are you feeding, and you can certainly come on if you wish live, feeding huge hunks of meat, raw meaty bones, chicken necks, chicken backs, things the dog has to do what a dog is designed to do. And that actually will, I've seen tartar fall off and the gums heal in a short period of time. I like to use CoQ10 when there's gingivitis, but all of this would be helped by working with a homeopath. So go to holisticactions.com/select, read the whole article and look for virtual homeopaths, or if you're a member, you could become a client of Dr. Jeff.
And I don't think there is a Micro C toothpaste, but you can certainly make a toothpaste out of Micro C. Taking a capsule, adding it to some coconut oil, and just washing with that. But like Dr. Christina said, it's usually not even necessary if you use the big chunks.
And we've got
Thank you so much.
not using, so Cautious Consumer says don't use 1-TDC. Oh, it's anti-inflammatory, so you could try that. And also making your own, talked about that. And there, oh, by the way, everybody, before you leave, make sure you save. Okay, we've got stuff in the chat. So save the chat by, depends on your device, but for many devices, there's 3 dots and it says save chat and it will save it to your computer. And if you've got a different device, just sort of figure it out before the next Q&A you come to.
Or if you want to chat and you can't get it, just email us. But yeah,
great,
sure.
Absolutely. Karen Becker has a probiotic out. I'd recommend that. That's always good. Y-Song is good, but again, we really want to aim towards fresh food and mostly doing it on your own. Yes, you can. Yes, Bettina, you can feed the raw meat diet right after the teeth are removed. And please, everybody, try to post at the very beginning instead of at the very end because we try to close at 1:30. So there's another tooth suggestion. Linda Tellington does every week or every month, every week, she has a free online. So definitely check out ttouch.com.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, so
all right, I think we're done.
Okay, awesome. So thank you all for coming. Thank you for your presence. If we missed your question and you're a member, just put it in the forum or ask us at the next webinar. For everyone else or anyone that's here from the general public, we'll see you in April. Gosh. So have a good weekend. Thank you. And Joe, your kitty just said, thank you, Mom.
Thank you all for being here.
Thank you. Bye-bye.